You are in Fara Sabina, you are the artistic director of Teatro Potlach in Italy. And so, how are things going in Italy with the theater, with the activity? How is the coronavirus or virus affected your activity?
I think in Italy is very similar to other parts of the world. I hear friends of mine in different parts in Spain, in Germany, in Sweden, in Greenland, in India, in China. In a way, the unique thing is this, that in this period, all the artists in every part of the world are in the house, are closed in the house. So each one is transforming the house in a theater. They transforming the room in a sala of stage, office, laboratory, atelier. This is incredible thing, no? That in different parts of the world. So I have a project about this, and that is called the house a theater. So I asked to different people, that is the people that's supposed to come to our festival in June, to send me fragment of their performance inside the different place of the house, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the bedroom, on the bed, on the balcony, on the terrace, in the basement, in the corridor. So to discover, to see their house in another way, because this is happening. It's very interesting, because each one, the artists are incredible. They invent all the time. And so I have many answers that are coming from different parts of the world, very interesting, inside or outside. What means this? What means this? Mean this, that is a period in which we are obliged to stay home, not to be infected and not to infect other people. But this touch, especially the theater, because the theater, the meaning of the theater is the meeting. This is the essence, the meeting among the actor, among the artist, the theater with the spectator, but a theater like our theater, that is not in a big city, but is in a small city, means that we all the time we go out to go where the people is. We don't wait the theater only in our theater Saturday night, but we go during the week in the school, in the center of enabled people, the center of old people, historic center, historic palace, special place of the nature, but especially we go to meet people outside of our theater. And so this we miss. We miss the essence. So what to do? It's never happened before. It's never happened before a situation like this. But each one of us is we go on with our work. We But the first thing to do is an analysis. We make an analysis, like in every moment in which Potlach has been in crisis. The crisis physiologic for a group like Potlach of 44 years old, of course, cross many moments, or especially some moment that we can define around 10, I think, in which something explodes, something was finished, something had to start again. But when, if we went on for so many years, means that we crossed this crisis. We have been the strain to cross this different moment of a crisis, and in which way? We are a group, so we always speak together about the moment of the crisis. At the same time, each one of us in the moment of a crisis is alone. In the moment of a crisis of a passage is a moment in which the dialectic between each one of us and the group is clear, become a motor. The crises sometimes are economic, has been economic, like in 2008 to 2010 was international crisis, economic crisis. So the theater has lost 40% of we lost 40% of our economy, mean a lot. We are lucky because we choose on the beginning to not to be in the city, but to be in a small village. This means, anyway, that all the cost of the life is much less than a city. And then it's much more wealthy, because we are in an area where there are not fabrics, where there is not a lot of people, few people that move. It's Sabina, so there every little village is isolated. So in this moment, we are lucky for this. Other moments, to go in the village in front of us, that is 1 kilometer in the air, we need half an hour, 1 hour, because the street, we must go down, we must go up. This, what mean? Anyway, what is important is where you are. This is the first thing. In different parts of the world, you have to make a different analysis. At the same time, the analysis is, we have to find the analysis that is the same for each one. So there are many aspects that are different from whom work in the country, who work in the big city, who work in Italy, in the north, who work in the south, or in the center, who work on the sea, who work on the mountain, who work in Italy, who work in other parts of the world, of Europe, of Latin America, of Asia. But what is essential for the theater, I think, there is something that is essential for all. That is the group. The group is fundamental. The theater is a system of relation, is a group of artists, and is the meeting. So I think that is very different if you are alone or if you are in a group of people. But what happened is this, that we take this time to clean ourselves. What mean to clean ourselves? To clean mental, physical, to take away all of the thing not essential. This is important, not essential. And what remain essential? I think that for the theater is the necessity. Why we make theater? When each one find the reason why make theater, we find again or not the strength to go on and to change, to give other answer to the new situation. So this situation obliges us to find again the reason why we make theater, the necessity to make theater. Clean, essential, pure. There we find the strength to go on and to find again a new life, a new era.
So do you think that this philosophy is also can be applied also to any aspect of human life? What is unique about this coronavirus is that we are all finding ourselves in this situation, whether we do theater or not, whether we are in Italy or America. So this process that you have gone through of analyzing and then bringing this analysis along with the people that you are sharing your life with, and then getting rid of what is not worth it, not this cleansing, and then restating why I do what I do. Is that a process that can be applicable to any part of life? In other words, can theater, through the process of the artist that goes through a crisis, can lead the way to overcome crisis for everybody?
Yes. Yes. Of course. I remember after a week, I came back in Italy from United States, 10 of March. 10 of March, all Italy was closed in that day. So I came back, I couldn't meet my friends, my colleagues. We could speak only the telephone or through Skype or through, but after 1 week of a kind of shock, like for many reasons, for me was also because of the jet lag. I live in country, but after 1 week, I began to analysis the situation and myself and my colleague. What is why I want to go on? Why I need theater? Why I need art? Why so essential for me the creativity? Why it's so essential for me to work with other people, with a group of people, that we choose each other, and why we work a lot, so much to arrive to a performance, to a project, to something, and give to the other, and to present to the public. Why? This is fundamental. So, if this is fundamental, mean that also if I cannot meet, I began to think about the people that I like, the people that I feel near. I feel to share something, that I share some value, I share some necessity. And these people is in different part of the world, in Italy, but also in different part of the world. And so it's like to rebuild the geography, because then someone that maybe is in United States like you, or is in Greenland, or is in India, is more near to me than sometimes people that lives in Rome, near me. So it's like many island around, and now I'm thinking about an archipelago. This archipelago, in each island, there is something we do that I share the same necessity. And so we, where we can find the energy with these people. With these people, we find again a new energy of something that we have not done before. So we inventing other street, other team, other thing to do that give fire to our imagination. And so this is happening.
So let's get a little bit more political, Pino. So I live in San Antonio, as you know. You came to visit and did a beautiful project at Trinity University. And the moment that the coronavirus hit, San Antonio decided to pull away all the funding for the arts, because we get the funding from a tax on the hotel staying and a tax on the tourism. So since there were no tourists, all the funding stopped, leaving all the artists just mid work with no funding at all. You tell me that in Italy things are different, because as you told me before, the government is planning on continuing to fund you, even though you may not be able to produce the work that you have produced in the past. That's what the government is saying. Am I correct? That's what you said, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So one thing that occurred to me as I talked to many artists is that occurred to me, but that's has always happened in this past 50, 60 years, that the art is the first one to go all the time in terms of the funding. Now that things have this coronavirus is really has shaken the system in a way that as showing to us all the deficiencies, the shortcoming of the system. Can we, as artists, claim the right to have a place on the table of the people that decide? In other words, instead of being the problem that needs to be put aside because it is expensive. It's not really expensive, the arts. So by taking funding away, can the arts and the artists, not only in San Antonio, but all over the world, start to make a political statement in which they point themselves as one of the solutions for any crisis? I'll give you an example, a very basic example. I was in Italy when they closed the country. I was in Palermo and I was about to do a workshop at the university there, and they closed everything. So from Palermo, I had to go back to Rome. And when they closed everything, the Italians did something. They went outside the balconies and they started singing. And you know the spirit of the Italians. It's fantastic, right? But we have art in our DNA. It's part of our what we are. But it is obvious that the singing in the balconies that took place really the first 10 days, 15 days of the lockdown were a way of the art to help people to overcome this moment. And it is inevitable to think that without art, people would not survive at home for 5 weeks locked down. And as you have said, there are many artists that have created in their home their own theater. They are creating. And if you just go on the internet, you see all the creative outlet and artistic outlet of the people. So why, as artists, Pino, are so timid in claiming what is our right to have a place at the table, at the decision table?
I understand very well. I say something, no? I think I am lucky that I was born in Italy. I didn't decide to born in Italy. Nobody decide where I will born, when. So I think I am lucky. Why I am lucky? Not for the economy. I am lucky because Italy is a little country, but all around there is the sea, and is a sea calm, not like the ocean that is always big waves. No, calm. Sometimes some waves, sometimes often calm. And so, and then is thin. So the window come from the sea, and the window, a nice window, come from the mountain, and they meet, and they create a microclimate unique in the world, because Italy is between two parallel meridian that is perfect, the best to live. For this reason, we have all the most big different number of animal, the most different kind of trees, of fruit, of nature. This is because the climate, because our position that is in the mid, in this part with this temperature and around the sea. Perfect. I think that is this the reason, because the 70% of art in the world is in Italy. There is some reason. This is the reason. Why il 53 place like heritage of the world are in Italy. It's the first in the world. So what means this? We live in the most beautiful place of the world, but we didn't decide to live here. So we must give some to the other. So the painter, the architect, the owner. This, I feel in this way. I say not in the economic way, because I know that Germany is more rich. I know that the United States is more rich. I know that other countries are much more rich. But Italy is rich in this way, for the heart. It's not possible to live without art. You don't live without art. Nobody lives without art. This sign is from the beginning of the man, the origin of the man, from when he invented the fire million of years ago. They began to paint, to write, it's necessary. It's necessary. This is the first thing. It's for this reason that Italians are in this way, because we can. You go out, we live the most of the time we can live out of the house. The most of the time we have sun. So the sun give a color, give energy, is a pleasure to speak with the people, to be with the people. It is incredible to build architecture extraordinary or painter, all this. In this context, of course, it's logic, it's political that Italian Minister of Culture decide that 80% of the money that each one of the people that work in the theater received last year, they will give without any documentation. Can you imagine if Italy closed the culture? We have not industry, we have tourism. Millions of people come in Italy to see the beauty of the nature, the beauty of art, the beauty of the building, the beauty of the city, Venezia, Florence, Rome. They come for this. And then I understand, because in other countries, maybe this doesn't happen. But anyway, it's stupid not to sustain the culture, because it's like if in a village you take away the milk. Doesn't exist anymore, the milk. Each one will find a way to substitute the milk. After a short time, they will not miss the milk. But after some time, when the bonds of the people began to crash, began to broke, then you will miss the milk. It's like for the theater, it's like for the art. If you take away the art, immediately you don't miss. The people can live without theater. They will say nothing. But after some time, when they will become so weak, so fragile, così inconsistenti, then they will miss art. For this reason, I think that it's not possible to live without art. And I think that in the United States, in Texas, in San Antonio, they will change idea.
I hope so. I hope so. But for now, the artists are not getting the funding that they were expecting to get. So I agree with what you said. But how, as an artist, would you give us a suggestion how to make this argument to the political system, to the politicians here in the United States? How can we make the argument that you just so beautifully made for me and for those that will watch this video? How do we do it? Do we do it going on the street? Do we do it through our art? What is the suggestion that you would give us?
The phenomenon that is happening in Italy is this. After many years, improvisely, the people who make theater began to contact again, to create, to make meeting on Zoom. For example, in our region, 60 directors of festival had a meeting on Zoom, coordinated from 1 or 2 people, just to do a letter to the Minister of Culture of our region to ask something. All we made the same letter. All we write our name to this letter, not on the street, no, on a letter, but with the name of each one of these, mean all the people that make theater in our region. And then we ask to make to decide to maintain the same money of last year for this year, to each one, to demonstrate that we spend this money like last year, to find new way to present theater in this situation, to why? To maintain all the world of artists in the situation in which we cannot make theater. Because art is in the center. And they answer. They say, okay, we will make, the day after today, they make commission to decide, to begin to decide. They are late, but they begin to decide. So all the people in your region that make art or are interested in maintain the art, the theater, all the form, to make a meeting, because if you are alone, you ask alone, they will not care. But if you are 60 festival, with each festival demonstrate that every year there are 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people, spectators, that every festival work 20 people. So to multiplicate all this, they we have a request political that has a political strength because we are too many people. Of course, it's not a firma. We don't build a car, but we are a lot of people. But all together. After years is the meeting. After many years, all together, speaking together, no conflict, no polemic, no one against the other, nobody, no one. In 2 hours, we decide everything. Everything. And we make a letter, and then the morning after, we control the letter, and they send. After today, a politician answer. Never happened. But of course, we are all together. It's never happened all together. It's not that they had to answer to one person. They had to answer to thousand, thousand of people, but with 66 different directors of festival. So Teatro Potlach, Festival Fleet, this, all the elenco, this means politic. And we send, and the answer, and they began to act. Doesn't mean that we obtain everything. Maybe no, or maybe yes, but they answer. If we didn't make, they wait, or say no. But now they cannot say no, because if they say no, there is a consequence of 1,000 people, not only one. This is one way, not on the street, letter, but with the name documented of each one. So oblige, come back to collaborate, to fill in the same ship. So the behavior of each one of the artists is not of conflict to defend their little garden, no, we're on the same ship. And then this will give only for sure, will give more energy to everybody. Because nobody of us feel alone. All together, and without conflict, no polemic, was so beautiful, with new idea, incredible, from different, only our region. There is another level, is Italian festival, another big meeting, and they answer. Now they hear for many years, for 20, 30 years, they become, everyone had to speak individual with the administrator. And they answer to yes to you, not to the other, a little thing that was only, now no. This is one. I don't know if it's possible in your country or in your region, but you know, if teacher, professor, artist, actor, scenographer, technician, all the people that work in this file, that think they can meet. We could meet on Zoom, and everyone could have 2 minutes to speak. And then we make one letter, one make the introduction, the proposition, then each one speak. We make a letter, and the day after went. This is one way politic. I was in accord not to go on the square, not to be bad, no bad words, no strong, precise, without offend anybody, to put the reason, and especially to put how many people was together. So you see also that the region is rich of artists, is rich of the festival, is rich of a group of theater, is rich of group of musicians, of the dance, is rich. In that moment, when you are all together, and the politicians see all together, they see that if you stop this, you really destroy the art, you really destroy a feeling, you really destroy an energy that give energy to everybody. This, I think, is I don't know how it will go. For this, in this moment, going in positive way. Of course, nobody can do performance. Nobody, all the project that we, Potlach, had in Italy and abroad is stopped until we don't know when. But anyway, in this situation, they didn't give the money. They know a part you had to make a presentation. So we had to invent, we must invent different way to present performance online. We will make on a apeta because we had to respect the distance. And so we decided to go with the apeta, with one actor, one actress on the apeta, under the window of the palace of the historic center. We will sing, we will make something, and then different, 2 apete, 3, and in different moments, so different performance. The people doesn't have to come down, but can go from the window. So we will do something. We will go around all the city. Of course, we decide not to make a big performance, but many little performance in different way, in different place of the city. In a way, we must make more work, but it's necessary.
It is necessary for our community to survive. It is necessary because we tell the stories of people that don't have a voice. It is necessary because we contribute to the soul of our community. So that's also why it's part of a human right to get art, and that is the first thing that is gone during a time where we need that. So that's
Yes.
thank you, Pino.
Yes.
Thank you for taking the time, Pino.
Thank you to you.
And we will hopefully we'll see you soon